Interested in learning how to create the look of distressed wood like the wall behind me? Well, I'm Jennifer with Jennifer Decorates, so stay tuned. The first treatment I want to show you how to do is more of the whitewashed painted look. I'm going to demonstrate it on this 1x4 board, and the first thing you want to do is you want to stain your board, and go ahead and stain the edges just in case that shows. One coat is all you need, and whatever color you want to choose. I kind of chose a medium tone stain, so you do that one coat of stain on there and you let that dry. The next thing you're going to need is some paint. I'm sure if you're like me, you have tons of scrap paint out in your garage. So I got that, and I got this. I broke the tub, but this is called Plaster of Paris that I got at the craft store. And let me show you what I'm going to do with that. So what you're going to do with this Plaster of Paris, you're going to make your own chalk paint. For a little paint, I'm going to do it in a bowl. I'd normally do it in a cup, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And listen, this is creating distressed old wood. There's no precise, perfect way to do it. Add this Plaster of Paris in there, like 2 spoonfuls to that amount's perfect. And I just mix it until it's pretty thick. And the reason you want that Plaster of Paris in there is because when we start putting it on the board, and maybe I get it a little bit too heavy on there, well, because this is kind of created more of a chalky paint, it's really easy to sand off of the wood. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. I got a little too thick. All right, that's it. We're ready to start. You're gonna want a wet rag, and you can use a regular brush or a sponge brush, but just dip it in there. See, and I like it lumpy, because that's gonna look like this wood's been around for a long time. Okay, do a section at a time. With that Plaster of Paris in there, it dries really quick. And maybe you like it that thick, or maybe you want it just a little lighter. It's up to you how you do it. And then you just kind of keep going down your board. Maybe you want to do more in the middle. Kind of keep going back and forth so the paint pushes into the wood. Okay, I know. Isn't that easy? So 2 pieces of advice. I would go ahead and do the edges, because maybe when you get ready to do your project, you might space your boards farther apart. And believe me, if you've done that and you want to get a little paint in between the boards, it's 10 times harder to do it after it's already up. And then my second piece of advice is try to make, if you're doing a whole wall or a section of a wall, try to change up your pattern on each board. It's really easy to mimic the same thing as you go along. You want it to be different. So see how I've got wood showing here and more paint in the middle. Maybe the next board I'm going to start with more paint here and wood showing here, so that each piece is individual. Well, I don't know about you, but I loved how easy this project was to do. And the thing I love about it is you don't have to be perfect. So the paint, the plaster, put it on there, rub it off, just make it look old. People will be so impressed with your project. Now when it's all finished and it's dry, you want to go ahead and coat it with 1, maybe 2 coats of polyurethane. I think I use Mini Wax. Don't get the high gloss or semi-gloss. You want to get the satin or a matte polyurethane, because if you want to create a look of old distress, we don't want it to look shiny and new. So I wish the pictures of my husband's office really showed how beautiful it turned out, but he wasn't going to have any painted distress wood. He wanted it to look manly. So I created the look of old barnwood. Actually, it was a project we did together, but let me show you how easy it is to do that. All you need is some acrylic black paint, a brush, and a wet rag. To start out, you really don't want to use the black straight out of the bottle, because it's a little too thick. So what I'll do is, and you might want to do this on a paper plate, but I add a little water and just kind of pull it and thin it out. Okay. Now when you're doing this distressed wood to make it look like barnwood, you absolutely want to do the ends like so. And why do I know that? Because when we did my husband's ceiling, I did not do the edges, and we realized you could see the fresh wood in between, and I had to climb up on a ladder with a teeny brush and fix my problem. I don't want to talk about it. So go ahead and do your edges. Now, when things are distressed and things are to look old, they get worn on the edges first, and that's what you're wanting to mimic here. So I'm just going to do around the edges, and then I'm going to take my damp rag and just rub that black around the edges. And do that a section at a time. Now see where I have a perfectly straight line? You don't want that. That's not going to look natural. So come back over it. Rub into it some more. Dip into your black, get darker on the edges. There you go. You're just kind of giving a little bit of looking like dirt, time, dust on the edges. And when it dries, if you feel like it's not quite dark enough and you want to do a little bit more, come in with a second coat and rub it back in. See how that looks? Oh, that looks so good, doesn't it? If you feel like you get it too much in a line, and use whatever brush you want to use. I'm pretty rough with my brushes when I'm doing jobs like this. Doesn't that look great? And let me tell you, when you add that coat of polyurethane on this treatment comes alive and it looks beautiful. I had so much fun doing this. That is how you make new wood look old. Don't be intimidated by projects like this. They're really easy, and when you're trying to make something look old, there's no perfect way to do it. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment below and I will get back with you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, and I hope you have a fabulous day. That is how you make old wood. Nope, it's new wood. Your own chalk paint. Oh my goodness, I totally dropped this tub.